This was abandoned and no one can explain why. Believe it or not, there are places around the world where revolutionary technologies and impressive vehicles have simply been forgotten by time. I'm sure you'll come away from this video extremely played. So join us and let's go. Number 11. Abandoned Marx generator. Hidden deep in a forest on the outskirts of Moscow, a gigantic object stands out among the trees. At first glance, it looks like a space slide straight out of a science fiction movie. But it is actually the impressive Marx generator, a machine capable of creating artificial lightning. Built in the 1970s by Soviet scientists, this technological behemoth had a unique mission to test how airplanes and power lines react when struck by lightning. The generator is a masterpiece of Soviet engineering that stands 150 meters tall, filled with tubes and components that appear to dance through the air. When turned on, this extraordinary machine could generate lightning strikes with millions of volts, creating an electrical spectacle that lit up the sky for microseconds. Scientists use these controlled bolts to simulate extreme storm conditions, ensuring that military and civilian equipment could survive the worst-case scenarios. In 2014, something incredible happened. After years of being abandoned, the generator came back to life for a few moments. Technicians managed to reactivate the system, proving that even after decades of abandonment, this technological marvel still held its secrets and capabilities. Today, surrounded by fences and nature, the Marx generator remains there, like a sleeping giant that sometimes attracts curious adventurers, trying to discover more about its electrical mysteries. Number 10. Dubai's abandoned luxury car park. On the glittering streets of Dubai, a surreal scene strikes the eye. Between 2,000 and 3,000 luxury cars are abandoned every year, creating a veritable open-air museum of expensive machines left behind. It's as if someone had scattered diamonds on the sidewalk and simply walked away. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and even rare Bugattis are left gathering dust under the scorching desert sun. Among these abandoned automotive gems, one story stands out: a Ferrari F40 that belonged to Uday Hussein, son of Saddam Hussein. The car, valued at millions of dollars, has become a silent monument to a turbulent era. The Dubai government gives owners 15 days to claim their vehicles before they are auctioned off. At auctions, cars that once cost millions end up selling for a fraction of the price. It's like finding a Da Vinci masterpiece being sold at a garage sale. The reason behind this phenomenon? Dubai's extremely strict financial laws. If someone fails to pay their debts, they can even be arrested. Many wealthy expats, seeing their businesses collapse, choose to flee the country, leaving everything behind, including their dream cars. It's as if the whole of Dubai is a huge parking lot of abandoned dreams. Number 9. The Charleston underwater subway. Deep in the ocean, 100 feet off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina, lies a surreal scene. 50 New York City subway cars form an artificial underwater city. This innovative project, launched in 2002, has transformed urban transportation vehicles into one of the largest artificial reefs in the world. Each car, measuring 50 feet long, underwent a meticulous preparation process before submersion. Technical teams removed all potentially toxic components, including oils, greases, and synthetic materials. The cars were strategically positioned to create underwater corridors and caves, providing shelter for a variety of marine species. The project has expanded local biodiversity to impressive proportions, with studies showing a 400-fold increase in the population of fish and other marine organisms. Today, these cars are home to an extraordinary array of marine life, including groupers, snappers, crabs, and even nurse sharks. Divers report that visibility in the area can reach 20 meters on clear days, allowing you to witness the impressive transformation of these cars into true underwater oases. I have a question for you. First, I'd like to tell you that it's possible to keep up with the biggest curiosities of our world every day. But for that, you need to be subscribed to our channel. So have you subscribed yet? If not, take the opportunity to subscribe now. Now that you've done that, let's go. Number 8. The forgotten Batman tumbler. In the sleepy town of Hertfordshire, England, a cinematic treasure is hidden under a dusty tarpaulin. The original tumbler, used in the filming of The Dark Knight, is lying abandoned in an industrial warehouse. This revolutionary vehicle, weighing an impressive 2.5 tons and capable of reaching speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, cost around $250,000 to build. The machine is powered by a 500-horsepower Chevrolet V8 engine and was built from scratch by the film's special effects team. The vehicle features unique technologies, such as an adaptive suspension system that allows jumps of up to 2 meters in height and tires specially developed to withstand extreme impacts. The interior of the tumbler is equally impressive, with a cockpit inspired by military fighter jets and advanced electronic systems. Interestingly, after filming the trilogy, this particular example was stored away and forgotten, while others were sent to be displayed in museums and events. The story behind this abandonment involves contractual disputes and changes in studio ownership policies. The vehicle, now valued at more than $1 million, remains in surprisingly good condition, protected from the elements but away from the eyes of the public who so admire the Dark Knight saga. Number 7. The Chernobyl woodpecker radar. Inside the infamous Chernobyl exclusion zone, a gigantic structure looms over the horizon like an abandoned web of metal. The Duga radar, nicknamed the woodpecker, is a structure that looks like something out of a science fiction movie. At an impressive 150 meters high and 700 meters long, this metal monster was taller than the Great Pyramid of Egypt and nearly as long as the Burj Khalifa. Built in 1972, the radar had a crucial mission to detect enemy missiles up to 1,000 miles away. When it was in operation, it emitted a peculiar sound that traveled across radio waves around the world. Radio amateurs from different countries heard a rhythmic talk, talk, talk in its transmissions, which earned the radar its curious nickname. The noise was so annoying that it generated thousands of complaints around the world. The Chernobyl disaster of 1986 sealed the fate of this technological marvel. The evacuation of the area made it impossible to keep the radar working, and today it sits silently, covered by vegetation that has reclaimed the territory. Conspiracy theories about its true purpose live on. Some believed it was a Soviet mind control machine or a device to modify the weather. Number 6. The Arecibo Observatory. Nestled in the dense rainforest of Puerto Rico, the remains of the Arecibo Observatory tell the story of one of the greatest achievements in modern astronomy. With its spherical reflector measuring 305 meters in diameter, this technological behemoth was, for decades, the largest radio telescope in the world. The observatory used cutting-edge technology, including a radar system capable of detecting objects billions of kilometers away. The main structure consisted of 38,778 perforated aluminum panels supported by a network of steel cables that allowed precise adjustments to track celestial objects. The instrument was so powerful that it could detect planets beyond the solar system and study the composition of distant asteroids. In 1974, the observatory sent the first deliberate message to possible extraterrestrial civilizations, known as the Arecibo message. After 57 years of operation and groundbreaking discoveries, including the first detection of a binary pulsar system, the observatory faced its dramatic end in 2020. The 900-ton structure collapsed after failures in the main cables, leaving an incomparable scientific legacy and a monumental structure that still impresses visitors and researchers who venture into the Puerto Rican forest. Number 5. The ghost ship MS World Discoverer. In the paradisiacal Roderick Bay in the Solomon Islands, an impressive sight breaks the harmony of the tropical landscape. The MS World Discoverer, a luxury cruise ship measuring 87 meters in length, has been lying partially submerged since the year 2000. This giant of the seas was equipped with cutting-edge technology for navigation in polar waters, including an ice-strengthened hull and state-of-the-art satellite navigation systems. The ship was used for expeditions to remote locations such as Antarctica, transporting scientists and adventurous tourists in its 87 luxurious cabins. On the fateful day of April 30, 2000, Captain Oliver Cruz faced a critical situation when the ship collided with an uncharted coral reef. In a masterful maneuver, he managed to run the vessel aground in a controlled manner, saving all 99 passengers and crew members. During the civil unrest in the Solomon Islands, the ship was extensively looted. Navigation equipment, furniture, and even parts of the structure were taken by the local population. Today, its exact coordinates, 9°01.60.S, 160°07.E, are a reference point for adventurers and photographers from all over the world. The contrast between the luxury that once inhabited its corridors and its current state of degradation creates a unique atmosphere that attracts curious people and researchers. Number 4. The Uyuni Train Cemetery. In the heart of Bolivia's Salar de Uyuni more than 100 rusting locomotives and carriages make up one of the world's most impressive train graveyards. This unique site houses machines dating back to the early 20th century, including British steam locomotives built between 1892 and 1925. Each of these engines weighed more than 80 tons and were capable of transporting hundreds of tons of precious minerals. The Uyuni railway system was instrumental in Bolivia's mining boom, connecting silver and tin mines to Pacific ports. The locomotives were equipped with cutting-edge technology for their time, including steam braking systems and high-pressure boilers capable of generating enough power to cross the Andes. The unique environment of the salar, with its high salt concentration and extreme temperature variations, has created extraordinary oxidation patterns on the metal structures. Scientists estimate that salt-accelerated corrosion has consumed more than 50% of the original mass of some locomotives. Today, this site serves as a natural laboratory for studies on the effects of corrosion on metals exposed to extreme conditions. Number 3. The longest limousine in the world. In 1986, on the streets of Burbank, California, automotive designer J. Orberg created something that would go straight into the record books. The American Dream, a 100-foot-long limousine that redefined the limits of what was possible with an automobile. This extraordinary machine was not just an elongated car. It was a veritable mansion on wheels, equipped with a working swimming pool, a king-size bed, and even a landing pad for small helicopters. The limousine needed 26 wheels to move and 2 V8 engines to run. The interior was a sight to behold. A hot tub, a living room with a flat-screen TV, something revolutionary for the time, a miniature golf course, and a full meeting room. The vehicle was so large that it had to be hinged in the middle like an accordion bus to be able to make turns. The American Dream traveled the world to car shows and events for years, but its extraordinary size eventually proved to be its undoing. Maintenance and transportation costs were astronomical, and finding space to store a vehicle of that size was nearly impossible. For years, this automotive masterpiece sat abandoned in a New Jersey parking lot, exposed to the elements and vandalism, until a group of enthusiasts decided to restore it in 2019. Number 2. The Last Voyage of the Mystery Machine. In 2018, a very special van was found abandoned near a warehouse in Blaine, Washington. At first glance, it looked like the famous Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, but the story behind it is even more curious. This van was actually a set for the 2001 film Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where it served as a parody of the famous vehicle of the canine detectives. The van had secret compartments and details that rarely appeared in the cartoons. It was a loving and comical recreation of the original vehicle, used in the film to tell the story of Jay and Silent Bob on their crazy journey to Hollywood. After filming, as is the case with many movie sets, the van was abandoned due to high storage costs. Years later, a group of internet sleuths, in true Scooby-Doo style, discovered the true origin of the van through Reddit. Today, it rests in Washington, covered in rust but still holding the secrets of its cinematic adventures. Number 1. The French Aerotrain I80. In the plains of the Chevigny region of France lies one of the most ambitious projects in the history of rail transport, the Aerotrain I80. This revolutionary vehicle, developed by engineer Jean Bertin in the 1970s, represented the future of high-speed transport. With its aerodynamic design and air cushion levitation technology, the I-80 could reach impressive speeds of 430 kilometers per hour. The project included an 18-kilometer test track between Rouen and Saran, built with millimeter precision to support the unique propulsion system. The vehicle used modified aircraft turbines that generated not only propulsion, but also the air cushion that kept the train floating a few centimeters above the tracks. The interior of the I-80 was equally futuristic, with a pressurized cabin, computerized control systems, and seating for 80 passengers. The project was abandoned in 1974 due to competition from the traditional TGV, leaving behind not only the prototype but also miles of elevated track that still dot the French landscape today as silent monuments to an era of bold innovation. Now I'm going to recommend a video especially for you. Take advantage and click on it now to watch it. Well, that's it, and until next time, Curious One.